Hey everybody, welcome back. Got another video today, and today we're talking about the Fujikura Ventus, which I know has been a hot topic. It's probably one of the hottest shafts in golf right now. But we're going to do a little talk about the Ventus Red and Ventus Black. And I know blue is kind of the other one in there, and I feel bad we're leaving it out today. But Ventus Black has been, huge on tour, but we're also seeing a lot more play in Ventus Red. So I'm going to kind of compare the two and see what it looks like. But Ventus Red is kind of the mid-high launch and mid-spin model in the Ventus line. It's got, it's basically the ultimate in stability with a high energy transfer because it does have a little softer midsection and tip section than Black, but it's got a really stiff handle as well. So really good feeling, like I said, a little higher launching, but still tight for a high launching shaft. And then Black, of course, being the low launch and low spin version. So max control for high speed, high launch players, and it's got a pretty much an overall stiff profile from handle to tip section. Both of them contain, of course, the legendary Velo core technology, which in the tip section is a bias core that adds a bunch of stability, can add MOI to your club head. So we're going to kind of hit them both and see what we find out. All right, so let's pick a few here with Ventus Red first. And again, this is kind of the mid-high launch shaft, but I think that scares people away being mid-high launch because it's really not that high launching of a shaft. And the nice thing is even for a high launching shaft, it's still really tight and accurate. I mean, it just has a good feel. I mean, at impact, it just releases. You can definitely feel that, it's active without being loose, as some players would call it. And me personally, I'm a big fan of Red. I think it was one of my favorites after I hit all three. But just really high, kind of low spinning shots. I mean, that there definitely gets up in the air, but it's a really flat apex. It doesn't really rise or anything like that. I mean, so again, I think people get kind of scared when they hear mid-high launching or mid-spin, and really, this thing doesn't spin a ton. And it actually, I think out of the three, feels the best. Even that, a little Healy, stayed right on line. I mean, that's barely left of target, which is, really good. Let's hit one more and then we'll switch over to Black. But Red just has, a really, like I said, it's got a lively feel, but that stiff handle section still gives you some control, even with my pretty poor tempo. Even that, a little over the top, smothered, but still just feels good. All right, so then hit a few with Red. Let's go hit a few with Black. And Black, you can tell in this head, it's just slightly counterbalanced. That means the grip section is just a touch lighter. So the head actually feels just a touch lighter here compared to Red. Not a lot. But overall, a really smooth shaft, you just don't feel as much as that kick or release on it. It kind of hangs with you the whole way through the swing. And it's really stout, but it's a smooth stout. You can get some of these shafts that are really stout and they get really stiff and a little harsh. This definitely has a smooth feel to it, even being as stiff as it is. Definitely a little lower ball flight. I feel like Black will kind of, depending on your miss, will kind of launch just a little bit lower, for me at least, on a few of those misses. Like that was kind of toe hooked a little bit. Red kept the ball in the air just a little bit more. I probably would have got away with that shot a little more with Red. But even that, just a good shot. Just so boring. There's just really no spin on it. It just gets up, gets to flat, and just goes. And really, like I said, unless your swing really dictates a ton of movement, you don't see much movement in the ball. Not a lot of curvature. And that was thin heel, still got up. That's going to be in the rough, but like I said, that should really hook farther than it did. And that's just, the Velo core in action right there is just keeping that head stable, even on a miss. So we'll hit one more. That was high in the face. But the nice thing is, high in the face, it doesn't spin a ton. So went a little right, but that'll happen with that swing. So let's take a look and see how these two compare. All right, so just hit both shafts, Ventus Red, Ventus Black. And the big thing that I take away from this, which I think is, what you'd expect, carry distances, actually red carry or black carried just a little bit farther from me, which is kind of interesting. I thought red was going to be a little longer. Club head speed was about the same for both. And the biggest thing, the biggest difference I saw was basically launch angle. Launch angle was almost a degree and a half higher with Ventus Red as opposed to Ventus Black. Now there, that in itself shows you that black's lower launching, but the peak height for each shot was about 10 feet different. So Ventus Red launched 10 feet higher than Ventus Black for me. Spin rate was about 100 RPM different for me, so Ventus Black spun about 100 RPM less. But overall, you can just see that Ventus Black, a little lower launching, but it still creates a lot of ball speed. I mean, the ball speed difference between these two was really hardly much at all. I mean, club head speed was pretty much the same. Ball speed was about 1 mile an hour different. So, I mean, really having a little more active tip, as much as it did, help out and get that ball in the air, you didn't lose any, ball speed or anything like that. So between the two, if you're looking for something low launch, low spin with still some good feel, check out Ventus Black. And if you're looking for something that helps you launch it a little higher, but you still want to have tight dispersion and a lot of control, check out Ventus Red. So check those out. They're on Fujikura's website. And thanks for watching.